Good morning. How goes it? Hope you guys are having a good morning. I'm listening to this song. Debating on getting some food. I'm not sure. I started painting this morning. I did some more painting in the office. And I got to take some pictures to kind of see the progress. I don't know why I wasn't taking more pictures. I want to do more pictures so we can kind of see the progression. Painting's an interesting thing when you paint something. When you're painting a wall, you know, even if you buy like high-end paint, you're going to have to do multiple coats, at least 2, which is okay, unless you sit there and paint thick, but not too thick to prevent it from dripping, because if you paint not too thick, you're going to have droplets, and as that paint starts to dry, it'll start to run, and then you'll get those chunky droplets. So you got to be mindful of that when you're painting. I think it's good to get one good layer down. I was spending too much time trying to get it thick without dripping in one single coat, but in retrospect, it's a waste of time because it's never going to be perfect. So I spent a lot of time painting one of the walls that way, and I have to go over it a second time. So, all good. Got some ideas to frame out some of the walls to make it look, I think it'll make it look interesting, especially because one of the walls in particular painted green this morning. This is what it looks like, and I wanted to paint the ceiling green. I don't know how it's going to look because it's going to be burgundy on 2 long walls. One wall is going to be like an accent wall, like soundproofing, and then the other wall is going to be green, and the ceiling's going to be green, the same green. So I don't know how that's going to look. Is this guy pulling out in front of me? This guy just pulled out in front of me. What an idiot. I was going 60 miles an hour, and this guy was probably 100 feet in front of me, and just decided to pull out and bring me down to 30 miles an hour from 60. Anyways, so I started doing some painting, and got a decent amount of it done. I painted a chunk of the ceiling so I can kind of see it, and then I painted a transition to the wall. Pretty much covered almost the whole wall in a haphazard way, just to kind of see. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it'll be interesting. What's up, EXT? We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be interesting. Eventually, I do want to do something on that wall, but I've been thinking about it, and I'm going to hang my guitars from that wall. So I'm thinking I was going to cover the whole wall in soundproofing, but now I'm starting to think maybe I'll use some soundproofing in some sort of pattern. Some sort of intricate pattern, perhaps some sort of like octagon shapes or diamond patterns, just to make something look kind of ornate, to break up some of the reverb off of that wall, off of that far wall, to kind of break it up. And then as far as the other walls, there are acoustic treatment foam sprays you can get that are almost like a rubber, but not quite. And It's a denser type of foam. It's more expensive, but you can use it as an adhesive spray like you would like a Loctite foam, like you normally would for some kind of foaming spray. But this particular spray, excuse me, will go through and absorb a lot of that stuff. Me and Honey Mommy were talking about taping off some of the spots that need insulation that have no insulation in the windowsill. And I've been really thinking about it. And that'll work, but inside of those areas that are taped off, there's going to be some gaps. And part of me, knowing that the rest of the walls are insulated, is I want to insulate that as much as possible. So to me, foam seems like it'd be necessary, like in the corners, and we don't have to fill the whole thing in, but in the corners and cracks, kind of create a layer so if we do tape it off, that there aren't gaps of open air, open space that could potentially whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know. I know a lot of this doesn't make any sense to you guys, but I'm just spitballing, thinking about it. I use this, I've noticed that I've been using these drive streams to think, to talk things out for myself. So that's kind of what I'm doing. But I think it's gonna be cool, man. I'm actually really stoked on it. I don't know if I'll actually use the green wall as a green screen, especially if there's gonna be a bunch of shit hanging from it. But I like the idea of just color. You know, I've never experimented in my life, not once. Not once have I ever experimented with color, painting, nothing. I've never had the opportunity. Never once have I had the opportunity. It was either somebody else's decision, or I was in a scenario or a set of circumstances where I couldn't do it. So as I think about it, I like the idea of experimenting. And if we don't like it, we can just paint it again. You know what I mean? So once the walls are painted and the ceiling's painted, we'll make sure the rest of the trim's removed, pull the carpet up, and then paint the corners, you know, make sure the bottom is painted well. We'll probably have to get new trim because the trim that was there is very old and it was put in a weird way. Where normally you would put in trim, you have your subfloor, then you would lay your flooring and typically your trim afterwards, at least initially, because the way I think about it is that if you're putting new flooring in, sometimes you have to cut into the trim so it goes into it. Typically the trim is not below the flooring, right? It's not typically below the flooring. It's usually right up against it. The flooring will go underneath, and then you have your trim. I could be wrong, but the way this looks like it's done is that the trim actually goes below the flooring, or below the carpet at least. So Honey Mommy was trying to salvage some of it, and when trying to get it out, one, it had these very long driving fasteners in. Well, actually not fasteners, but nails. Very, very deep into the wall, and it was cracking some of the drywall because of how it was put in. So we're gonna have to get the carpet out first, which is not a problem. That carpet will come up in 60 seconds. It's glued down in a very shitty way. So literally, she grabbed the corner, was like, and just came right up. I didn't even see any carpet screws or carpet nails holding, you know, the perimeter down. But we're laying down a faux wood floor, like a vinyl, which I think will really make the room kind of pop. You know, because right now you look at the walls and you're like, okay, that's all right, it's interesting. But the carpet that's in there, it just clashes. The carpet looks not like it's supposed to. But I think that once we get that up and lay that flooring down, it's going to really change the whole vibe of that room. That whole office is going to be like, hey. It sounds really dumb. Right now there's a big pipe going across the top, and I leave it there because I pull myself up on it. It sounds really dumb, but I've been having my whole life. Pull-ups have been very difficult. Yesterday I was talking about, there was a point in my life where I was able to do a couple of pull-ups when I was 380 pounds, but I was taking steroids, you know. Now going back and looking at it, wow, I left really late. I haven't left this late in a long time. So I'm going to be getting home. I'll be getting to the apartment like just a few minutes before I start work. Kind of sucks. Maybe not. I wanted to stop and get breakfast. I use my fucking credit card. Unless I can tap my phone. I'm going to say, like, can I tap my phone? Can I boopity my bonkity? Kid? Man, my boopity my bonkity. I don't understand people have cars on the side of the road for sale and they put a piece of notebook paper in the window and write it with a pencil. If you want to sell your shit, make sure that shit's big. Let me see it. I don't want to keep pulling at people's driveways to look at a piece of paper and it's like $25,000. Like, fuck you, man. Suck my balls. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But anyways, this guy is driving slow as hell. This is driving me bonkers, bro. I will not make good time as it stands. So I ordered one more set of soundproofing. I was going to order two, but there's a few things I have to do throughout this pay period, and I don't want to put myself in a tight spot. I don't like it. I don't like being in a spot where I have to actively think, if I spend this, I'll have this much, which has to last me this long. I don't like living like that. I don't like living paycheck to paycheck. That's the plight of the middle class and lower middle class, right? Paycheck to paycheck life. There was a stage in my life, in my early 20s, for a very short stint, where literally I wouldn't even remember that a paycheck was deposited. Oh yeah, I got paid last week. Huh. Okay, cool. Didn't even think about, I literally got to a stage where I forgot what pay period I was on because my checks were just being deposited and I wasn't living paycheck to paycheck. I had money set aside. Well, I appreciate you, XC. No worries, man. I'm just chatting it up, rambling. I appreciate you swinging by, man. And then it's Mother's Day this weekend. I have an idea that I want to try for Honey Mommy. The problem is the way my schedule is, I'm going to have to do her present on Sunday with her. I'm going to have to be like, all right, while she's doing her thing, I have to go and do my thing. I'll have to go around and collect the things I need to collect. So I got to try to find it. And if not, if I can't find what I'm looking for, because I thought of it the other day and I'm like, this would be cool. I think she could appreciate this particular item. So I'm going to get it. She watches these streams, so I'm not going to say what it is. And if they don't have this item as I need it, this can be made. It can also be made. So I'm going to research how to make it as well. But man, I'm stoked on the office. It's really coming along. You know, once the flooring's in, it's going to be, it'll be a whole different thing. What's up, Jake? What's up, who? Once the flooring's in, it'll be a whole different ball game. Whole different ball game. Right now, the walls are coming together. Once the walls are done, it'll be a whole different ball game. And the ceiling. Once all that's done, I think it's going to be good. So there are very large bulbs. Hey, RT, I get it, man. I'm with you there. That's why I put the title the way it is. Like, I don't know. You know, the last couple of weeks, I've been doing these drive streams in lieu of other types of streams, except for the Resident Evil one we did recently. By the way, I will be playing Resident Evil. I'm going to buy it now that it's out today. But I want to get some of these things squared away. Yeah, man, I know the feeling, dude. I know the feeling. And by the way, thank you again for maintaining your sponsorship, dude. It really does mean a lot to me. I know with a channel like mine, a bit smaller, you know, it's not, may not feel the most lucrative to do it, but I appreciate the fact that you have been maintaining it. Not bad, Jake. How about yourself, man? How's life treating you? Long time no see. You follow? Yeah, you do. Anyways, so I'm going through this process, kind of implementing these different things, and so far, as it stands, I've got, I was telling everybody this morning, I started painting the other wall and ceiling in the office with this green color. It was a misuse paint from Home Depot where they made this color and whoever got it didn't want it, they didn't like it, and they basically said okay, and they sold this nice Behr paint, big gallon of paint. Maybe it's more, whatever the bucket as a gallon, I don't fucking know, for $10 or 9 something. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. So I bought it, and then it kind of matches color scheme wise. You know, we have this burgundy style walls with these hardwood style flooring, and then it's going to be a green accent wall and a green ceiling. So it should look interesting. So it's burgundy on the long walls, soundproofing on the short wall over here. So it's burgundy, and then it'll be green at the top, and then green coming down on the other wall. It should look interesting. Oh my gosh, this train is going slow. Speed it up. Give it some gas. I'm looking at the conductor. He was looking at me when I was doing that. Trains are cool when they're fucking moving. And this truck in front of me has got the most intense fumes ever invented. I feel like I'm chewing on a gasoline ball bubblegum chunk. Bullshit! I'm playing my yo-yo. Let's see if I can pull this off. Nope. Not enough space. Not enough space. Hold on. The string's twisted up. Yeah, we're gonna be here for a minute. Seatbelt's coming off. Alright, here we go. Out the window. Out the window! The guy behind me is like, what the fuck is going on? There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No! Damn it! Had a couple of good throws and I lost it. This is bullshit. I'm pissed. That's alright. So I'm going to make a yo-yo. For those that don't know, I enjoy yo-yos. This one was $4 and it's garbage. But it's made out of wood and I like wood-based products. No. No. I'm a yo-yo master. I'm a yo-yo master, not with tricks, but with control. I've seen a lot of people mess. You know, it's weird. I want to do this little video series about just like kind of useless things that I do, and a lot of different things that I do that people don't know how to do. And everyone thinks they know how to yo-yo. But every time I got my yo-yo with me constantly, because I'm at Walmart, yo-yo. I'm at the doctor's office, yo-yo. I'm wherever, I get my yo-yo. And everyone thinks they know how to yo-yo, and they go, oh yeah, yo-yo, I'm gonna get here. And they do it, and everyone doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. They're like, it didn't work. It's like, yeah, you can't do it like that, you fucking nutbag. What are you, insane? So, I'm gonna do a very short video on how to yo-yo properly. So basically, it's a series about my useless skills. You know, how to shuffle a deck of cards. You know what I mean? Stupid stuff that some people just never had an opportunity to do. You say, well, I can shuffle cards. Okay, now shuffle at a table. Shuffle just in your hands. How do you do that? Well, I remember I was trying to do it, and I couldn't quite figure out how to do it comfortably, and I watched the video, and the guy that was doing the video had like 12-inch long fingers, and I was doing, I'm like, I can't fucking do it that way. So I took some of the techniques he was trying to show, and then I figured out my own way of doing it. Just like one-handed card cutting. You know, there's a technique to it that my hand, I got big hands, but I don't have super long fingers, so I can't do it properly. So I had to kind of modify it and do it my own special way. And I think it's dexterity from playing guitar and typing my whole life and stuff that allows me to do it. But you create this grip where your thumb is not holding the card, it's just these 4 fingers. Then you split half of the deck, push it up, and then take your index finger, push up the bottom half in order to pick up high enough to where that top half picked up with your thumb will drop on top, and then you complete the cut. I'll show you. I'll learn you. So even if you got baby hands, tiny baby fingers, with my technique, you can do it. Because right now, if you go on YouTube and look up how to do a one-handed card cut, the vast majority of them, you need large hands to complete it the way they show it. Fuck that noise. So stuff like that. How to throw a card. How to do false cuts. I'm not a magician. I'm not some cardist type person. But I can do some basic stuff. I can do enough to impress a layman. You know what I mean? Yeah, how to kill somebody properly. This classic stuff. It's funny you mentioned that. So I did martial arts for the vast majority of my youth. And then in my teen years into my early 20s, jiu-jitsu. And I love martial arts. And I would happily go through... Does this guy know something I don't know? Is there a way around this train? This train has got 3 more minutes and then I'm leaving. But just proper techniques. Rear naked choke. The difference between a blood choke and a wind choke. Some people don't realize how a rear naked choke actually works. What's actually happening to that person if you do it properly. Everyone tries to put pressure in the center of the neck, right here. If you're choking somebody and your forearm's right here in their neck, that's going to be very uncomfortable for them. But you're not going to choke them unconscious. That's a wind choke. You're trying to block the airway. They could stay conscious for 7-8 minutes fighting that off. A correct approach for a rear naked choke is the pit inside of your elbow in the center of their neck. So your forearm and your bicep are cutting off the carotid artery on either side. So once you squeeze here, they're still getting air. They can still get oxygen, but you're cutting off the blood to the brain. There's no staying awake when the blood's cut off to the brain. You don't stay awake with that. You fall asleep very quickly. If done properly, you put somebody out in less than 10 seconds. I don't care how strong you are, how muscly you are, how big and fast you are, how much of a fighter you are, how much boxing technique you have. If someone gets you in a correct rear naked choke, you're going to sleep. So there's only a handful of ways to really defend it. One of the main ways to try and defend is you pin your chin to your chest as hard as you can and raise your shoulders. This way you're minimizing the amount of pressure that is going into the carotid artery. You're minimizing that pressure, preventing it from closing off and blocking that blood flow. So because of years and years of doing it, anytime someone puts their arms on my shoulders, I instinctively put my chin to my chest and pick my shoulders up. I'm always like this. They're like, what are you, so jumpy? I'm like, no, it's not that I'm jumpy. I just don't want to be choked unconscious. Because I've been choked unconscious. Many times when I was younger, we were so stupid, we used to choke each other unconscious all the time. I remember one time my friend choked me unconscious. My cousin choked me unconscious and let me go at a standing position. And I fell face first on a house phone. Fucked my face up, blood everywhere. I was like, bleh. And then when you pass out and you wake up, you don't know what the fuck's going on. You're like, everyone's looking at you like, what the fuck's happening? What's happening? And your brain's kind of figuring out like, you idiot, you were passed out. I'm like, oh. Then you have different shoulder arm locks like omoplata, gogopalata, the traditional arm bar. There's also, like people talking about like, oh, the Peruvian necktie. Like those are techniques you can do, but they're not easy to pull off. So you learn the basics. You learn the basics of control. You learn the basics of those techniques. How to get somebody off of you. How to defend yourself. Same thing with arm bars. You know, if you're on your back and someone has your arm extended, you're pretty much fucked. You have to decide right then and there, am I going to let my arm be... The training is finally done. I said I give it 3 minutes. It's been 3 minutes, and the training is done. Do you see this big brain? Do you see how big brain operate? I have Big Brian. My Brian is very big. I'm the biggest Brian in the game. The victim in the country. Oh, I missed it. Mr. Postman. Hold on, try to get it. Oh yeah, and if you're the victim in the choking, go for the eyes because it hurt. That's very true. And keep this in mind, guys. I'm not trying to take away from anybody's ideas and what they've learned. I'm going to tell you something. Sadly, in my youth, I've been in several altercations. I've been in a lot of fights, and when I was much younger, I've got my ass kicked a lot. I've had my ass beat. I had my face stomped. I've got hit in the face with a bat. I've been everything you can imagine for the most part, short of dying. And then a lot happened to me. And I will tell you that in a real fight, if someone's choking you and you try to poke them in the eye, yes, that may hurt them. But if me and you are in a fight and I have you in a rear naked choke, I'm in a dominant position, and you're trying to poke me in the eye, I'm going to close my eyes, I'm going to tuck down, and I'm going to squeeze harder. I'm going to squeeze as hard as I can. And I'm going to put you to sleep. You can grab my balls. I know that you're going to go to sleep. It's going to hurt like hell for me. But I'm also not going to stand there and just let you stab me in the eye. I'm also not going to stand there. And when you're being choked, I'm telling you guys, there's a panic. It's hard to focus. So finding someone's head and jamming your finger in perfectly is going to be very difficult. If you can, absolutely. You stick your thumb all the way in that motherfucker's brain. You know what I mean? In a fight. There are no... If it's a real fight and someone's really trying to hurt you, don't try to stand there and square up and look pretty. You know what I mean? Don't try to bob and weave and, 1, 2, fuck that. If we're in a fight, I'm trying to hurt you. I want this to end quickly. I'm not trying to get my nose broke. I've had my nose broke. I'm not trying to get the orbital bone broken in my face. I've never had that, but I've had friends who've had their orbital bone broken. And it's awful. Their eye swells up like a fucking softball. And that's the bone that supports the structure surrounding your eye. The point is, fighting in of itself, a lot of people, and I was guilty of this for a big part of my life, is I would talk a lot of shit. Like, man, if that motherfucker, someone come up to me like that, I'm gonna fuck him up. I'll fucking be like, bleep, blah, 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 bleep. I'm talking all this shit. Like, oh man, come at me, I'm gonna fucking be like, bleep, 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 bleep. I'm gonna fucking kick him in the neck. I'm gonna hit him with Tom O'Leary, and I got fucking Glengarry right here. I'm gonna fucking Tom O'Leary right to his chin and give me old Glengarry elbow to the neck meat. In a fight, it's different. In a real fight, your adrenaline's pumping. You can't think. The only time you're going to find yourself really utilizing clean technique in a fight was with a lot of practice, like constant training and sparring. Then by default, that's your default process. If you look up YouTube videos about MMA fighters that got in fights in real life, and there's a handful, you're not going to see world-class fighters because they know that they'll fucking destroy people, so they avoid fights. They know they can get in trouble, they can hurt somebody, so they don't do it. But if you look at like amateur fighters who still get in bar fights and stuff, and you watch these things, none of them are typically bouncing around, looking pretty. They're just throwing punches because they know if I'm throwing punches and I connect it just right, I can knock this guy out and end it quick. You know what I mean? One of the other things you want to keep in mind too, if you're punching somebody, you're in a fight with somebody, if you have an opportunity to try and pick your shot, there's 3 ways to approach it. I broke my pinky knuckle tried to punch a car window out once, and I fucked up my hand punching heads many times. Don't try to punch somebody in the top of the skull, you'll break your hand. Don't try to punch somebody in the forehead, you're gonna fuck your hand up. There's 2 basic ways, there's 3, but 2 that I would highly recommend if you're gonna hit somebody. Right here, in front of the ear, behind the jawbone, right in here, you have something called the trigeminal nerve. The trigeminal nerve can generate a lot of pain. But the idea, if you punch somebody in the jaw, not up here, not the upper mandible, right? This will hurt. You may break the orbital bone. If you're trying to knock somebody unconscious, you want to hit the jaw. in this area, you can do it. If it pinches that nerve, they will go to sleep. It'll instinctively, their brain will shut down for a second. Blip, they drop. You punch somebody square in the nose, right here at the bridge, where the bone meets the cartilage. You break that, their eyes will swell shut, they'll start choking on their blood, and you will stop that fight. So that's a square punch. And when you're punching, always, if you can, again, in a real fight, it's very difficult, but you're going to punch with these two knuckles. Don't punch with your whole hand. These two knuckles. You punch with your pinky knuckle, you're going to have what happened to me. Like, my pinky knuckle sticks up all crazy. Compared to the other knuckles, see how it goes? Knuckle, knuckle, dips down, and then pops up with my pinky knuckle. Can you see that? I don't know if the angle looks good, you can tell or not. But the pinky knuckle is way bigger because I broke it punching a car window out because I was mad and I went to punch and I misjudged the distance and my fist didn't go like this. I ended up curving it a little bit and hit it on a swing. And the funny part is I broke the window, but I broke my fucking hand at the same time. But it wasn't cool. Like, I thought it was gonna shatter and be like really impressive. It just spider webbed, and I fucked my hand really bad. And I was so pissed. Trying to make at the time. It's a long story. I was with one of my friends. He hooked up with this girl that I was hooking up with. I wasn't dating her, but she was my fuck buddy. And then he fucked her. And he goes, "Just hit me, bro. Just hit me. I know you want to do it. Just hit me and get it over with." And I punched next to him, and I hit a car window to try and demonstrate my anger and to show him how strong I was, and I fucking fucked my hand up. But you can always practice these types of things. You can practice your technique. You know, if you're right-handed or left-handed, you can work on really basic techniques in an effort to get comfortable throwing punches. You know what I mean? If you're right-handed, you want to stand with your lead leg, your left leg in front. And the idea, left hand in front, right hand in back, and you kind of work it this way in an effort. No honking me, motherfucker. I ain't got nothing to do with this. Yeah, I'm going to pass this guy too. Yeah, this guy's going slow. I'm losing a lot of time. But anyways, you focus on the basics. If you're right-handed, your lead leg, your left leg in front, your left hand in front. Work on your jab. Extend your hand out. Your jab is what's going to keep the person at distance. That's how you can judge your range. Beep, 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 beep. You keep the person out in front of you. You throw your jabs. Hold on, let me pass this person. Let me focus on one thing at a time. But this is how you keep the person at arm's length. The cool thing is, however far you can reach your jab, when you come over for a straight right or a hook, because you're twisting at the hips, your right arm will extend and you will be able to still hit that person at the same distance your jab is. At the exact same distance your jab is. So, work on that kind of thing. Work on that technique. Throw it out. Play with it a little bit. Just get used to hitting something, a pillow, just so you can kind of feel the impact. Make sure it's a very tight grip. I'm not saying while you're doing it, keep your hands tight. When you hit that punch, you better make sure that wrist is tight because you're going to fuck your hand up. You're not holding your wrist tight enough for your arm. You hit something, you're risking. I'm telling you, man, I've done it. I fucked myself up doing stupid shit because I thought I knew what I was talking about. And I hurt myself many times. So I encourage you, if you are interested in any of these things, to practice. Hit something, see how it feels. When I say something, I don't mean somebody. Hit a pillow. Thank you. Hit a punching bag. You know what I mean? You can go out and spend $100 on a decent punching bag hooked on a little thing. Anyways, it's a very interesting chat. I agree. I missed some posts. Hold on, guys. What's going on, Moonlight? Jake. Anyways, guys, I know this conversation's odd. I know a lot of you guys are much younger than me, and I made a lot of mistakes in my life for a number of different reasons. And one of them happened to be a lot of fighting when I was young. I was stupid. I grew up in an urban-esque city, and I was very tall at a very young age. When I was in kindergarten, I think I was over 5 foot. That you would advise what? Sorry, I'm trying to focus on the road. Would advise. Oh yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Anytime my hands come off of the wheel, I use my knee to brace the wheel. I don't like leaving the wheel with no resistance because it could very easily move. But yes, that is wise, sage advice. I appreciate that. Nothing happened to him. It's a long story, Moonlight. I'll try to give you the cliff notes if you want to hear it. Let me know if you want to hear it and I'll tell the story. Otherwise, I'm not going to go through the whole spiel. So I'll wait for your response. But in the meantime, I'll finish what I'm saying. So I grew up in an urban-esque area and I got beat up a lot. I got jumped a lot. Yeah, I use my knee a lot, sadly. So like right now, my knee is controlling the wheel. Now, you're not going to turn with your knee, but you can kind of hold it steady. But I've had my ass kicked a lot, and I've been beat up a lot. I used to get jumped every day on the way home from school. The same fucking asshole kid. And this asshole kid used to wear these cowboy boots, and on the tip of them, they had this little metal thing. And he would kick me in my ribs. Broke my ribs. Would puncture my skin. I mean, he used to fuck me up. Now, we were talking little kids, so it wasn't like a grown-ass man laying into me, but it was a kid who just, you know, when you're just laying there on the ground because you're afraid and you're just letting people kick on you and hit on you, you know, they're going to do it. You know what I mean? I can't remember his name. I do have a good story about him, though. He did get his comeuppance way later, and I didn't even know it was him. There's a funny story with that, which I'll circle back to. It was something shitty. It was a shitty name. I remember that. I'll think about it. I want to say it was Randy, my dad's name. But I can't remember for the life of me. It's like, Randy! All right, well, I'm going to go to the drive-thru and get some breakfast. And then bear with me, guys. I'll tell the story of what's going on with the streams, the gaming streams, for those that are curious. But I'm currently in the drive-thru. But anyways, so I used to get jumped a lot. And I was very tall for my age. When I was in kindergarten, I was like 5 foot. And then I stopped growing in my teenage years when I started abusing steroids. So I kind of stopped at 5'11", 6 foot. Anyways, I don't know. I think my brother's like 6'2", my older brother, so I'd probably be roughly the same height. I'm not sure. But anyways, I think I stunted my growth as a result, taking mass quantities. But ultimately, one of the things that happened with me is I'd get beat up a lot. They thought I was older than I was, but I was in kindergarten in first grade, so then I was like a 5th or a 6th grader. You know what I mean? And it's an interesting dynamic when you see a child that you think is older, but they're acting like they're younger. Plus, I just think that the kids at the time just wanted to be dicks. They just wanted to be dicks. I had a friend, Philip, I remember one time, that just left me hanging. We were walking down the street, I get hit in the back of the backpack, and he just took off and left me there to get stomped. All right, give me a second. 1 second.
Hi, what can I help you?
Yeah, can I have the number 5, the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit meal?
What's the drink?
Can I have that large with a Sprite Zero if you have it? And then an order of sausage, gravy, and biscuits. Just one order of that. That'll be everything.
$8.82, thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
But anyway, so we got fucked up. So the point is, this happened for many, many years. And we grew up in this, like I said, this urban-esque area until I was about... And I was a pushover during that time. It was really fucking me up. And we moved to another city. I moved in with my dad. I lived with my mom, a single mom, my older brother. My older brother was in gangs and crazy shit. Mom couldn't handle it, so she asked my dad to take him and see what he can come up with. And then when he was gone, I was like, I want my brother. So I moved with my dad. Then we moved to another city that was kind of in the process of kind of being built up. So there were some like country-esque areas, but there was still some metropolitan style built in. And there was one particular kid that used to pick on me all the time. And I'll never forget, man, he made me feel so small. And he would pick on me. We only got in like 2 fights. And then the last time I actually swung back and hit him, and then after that he left me alone. And it kind of dawned on me when I started to defend myself. And I remember I missed a part of the story. When I was much younger in the urban area where I grew up, my mom enrolled me in Taekwondo. So I started taking Taekwondo classes. And I learned the techniques, but there was no confidence to protect myself and defend myself. Anyways, so going into middle school, we moved again. And then in this new place where I ultimately went through middle school and high school, graduated, and my family lives today, I went through and decided that's no longer me. And then I became an asshole. Then I started picking on people. Then I started going on my way to start fights. Constantly picking on people, constantly fighting with people, any excuse. And then I developed this temper, which I'm still today working with, trying to get better with it. Honey Mommy has been helping me with it. I'm a short-tempered sometimes. I can be a little aggressive. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pay for my food.
882.
All right, here's that. Thank you. It's okay, RT. Thanks for swinging by, man. I appreciate it. Tell me to try what? Let me see, guys. Hold up. What, security breach? I'm down to try any of those things. Any of those things, I'm totally down for that. 100%. 100%. When it gets released, all right, thank you. Yeah, when it gets released, I'm going to. Security breach? I'm not aware of the fan one that was made. Furry Rage or whatever. I'll check it out. Definitely check it out. So I'll tell you the spiel here, Moonlight, in just a second. When I pull away here, I'll kind of fill you in on the what happened.
There you go.
Thank you so much. All right, we got our foods. It looks good. Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, I heard it's like a Streets of Rage type of vibe. Yeah, I love Streets of Rage. Definitely play it. So here's the short. Let me finish this last little bit, and then I'll circle back to address your question, Moonlight, and Jake as well. So moved to this new city and became a dick, and picking fights, got really heavy into drugs, like big time selling everything, like just all bad. Getting arrested, locked up for a short time, and it put me on a bad path. Be safe, RT. Thanks, man. Hope to see you again tomorrow or later or whenever. Put me on a bad path. Ultimately, once it was all said and done, I was in high school, and there was this kid named Nick. I'm not gonna say his last name. He was very big. He was probably like 6'4", very tall, probably 500 pounds, 525. He was a huge kid, and I used to always run out. And I was fat too. Not, I guess fat's the wrong. I was probably 50 pounds heavier than I am now, and I'm about I fluctuate anywhere from like 190 to 210. So we'll split the difference. I'm 200 pounds. 5'11", 6 foot. 5'11", not 6 foot. 200 pounds. Anyways, but at the time I was probably like 250. And I was working out a lot. Very, young, energetic. Wrestled in high school. Anyways, so I used to always run up to him and I'd slap him in his chest and I'd grab his tit and I'd yank it. Every time I would see him, I would do it. It's just an asshole thing to do, terrible thing to do. But I think it was me kind of projecting the years that I went through it and putting it on other people. Anyways, so I remember I was running through the hallway and it was in between classes, but everyone kind of got settled away that the bell just rang and there was only a couple people in there. And I came up sprinting behind him and I pushed him down. And he's a big dude. So he hit the ground hard and he's like, what the fuck, dude? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what I said. And he went to get up and his leg broke. And I remember him just screaming in pain. I'll never forget that. After that happened, I really started to kind of take stock in how I was living my life. And I stopped going out of my way to like pick fights with people and picking on people that really, now the drugs and all that shit and getting in trouble, that all stayed the same. But I stopped going out of my way, and then we actually became kind of friends after that. I apologized, and we kind of built a very small friendship, an acquaintance type relationship with one another. Anyways, that is up to high school. I'll stop the story there and we'll continue that another time. So to answer your question, Moonlight, I started giving it a while, so I started seeing a girl officially back in September. This particular person I dated when I was a teenager and through a portion of my 20s. So I have a history with her. I know her very well. And I think the issues that we had at that time have kind of worked themselves out with maturity and age, and we started seeing each other again. Well, right now, we live about 45, 50 minutes away from each other, about an hour almost. And every day I work from home. So every day I work, and when I get off of work, I drive to her house, which I'm moving into, slowly but surely. So because of that commute, and because of her work schedule, she goes to bed early and has to get up very early. She gets up at 4:30 in the morning. And I usually get up with her around the same time, about 5-ish. She takes a shower that wakes me up. And because of that, in the evenings especially, my equipment is not at her house yet. It's at my apartment. So I wake up and I do my thing, and then I would go home, and then in the morning I would stream. Well, my work schedule fluctuates a little bit, so it's difficult to find the time to do it to a level that I feel like is worth it, and the amount of time that's worth it. So while I'm moving in and getting all my stuff in and kind of getting it set up, because I have to do my office kind of all at once, where I stream from and everything, because I work from home. I need my office set up all at once. I can't just bring my computer, my Xbox, my PlayStation, little by little. I don't need all that to work, but I need my desk and my computers to work. So when I move, I have to move everything, set it up so I can work. So I'm in the process of transitioning to move in with her. So during this time, the gaming streams are still happening, just not as frequent. So in place of that, I stream like this every day with chat, kind of bullshit. Sometimes I'll do different kinds of streams, little videos here and there, while I'm getting things kind of prepared. So I would say that the dust will officially settle, and I think I will be in there like 100% within the next 2 months. Right now, I have to get another vehicle And that is what is slowing things down. It's a long story, but I have to get another vehicle. So that's happening. And there's a couple other things, like I have to get some monitors and an arm for the computer. You know, that's nothing. That's not a big deal. I can still move over there without that stuff. As far as the office is concerned, there are some cosmetic things I'd like to do, but we basically got everything necessary with the exception of a few accessories. Got the paint, I already started painting the room, burgundy, green. I started buying the soundproofing, this special kind of soundproofing I found that I really like. It's more ornate looking. It's not just kind of like a grid or eggshell and shit like I currently have. It has like a geometric pattern. It's actually really nice, but I have to buy like 7 orders of it at $30 a pop. So I'm not doing it all at once. And then like I bought the flooring already. We got the flooring ready to go. So I'm going to finish painting. I'm going to try to finish all the painting by this weekend. So there's no more painting that needs to be done. Completely finished. Then I'm going to buy this special kind of thin trim to put in the corners. You'll see. I'm going to take some pictures and post on Instagram and stuff. You guys want to see that? If you do, you're curious, let me know. I'm going to make a video as like the transition so you guys can see what kind of happened and how everything kind of came to be. But in the meantime, I'll post some pictures as kind of the progression. So you can kind of see what happened. But little by little, we're making it happen. But that is the short story as to why the most recent streams haven't all been gaming. Plus, I don't want the channel to be nothing but gaming anyways. I want to be able to do other stuff. But to answer your other question, yes, I'm most certainly going to play FNAF Security Breach. I'm going to play Resident Evil 8. I played the demo. I'm definitely going to stream that game in its entirety, 100% yes. To answer your question, Jake, Honey Mommy's doing okay. She's been dealing with some medical stuff ever since she got COVID, and things have been topsy-turvy ever since. She's been really struggling, but she's very tough. I mean, what she's going through would crush a regular person. I don't think I could do what she's been doing. She's such a trooper, so strong. But we're working on that, and we're making some headway. We're making some progress with regards to that. So things are looking up. Things are looking up across the board, man. Things are looking up across the board. You know, I was mentioning earlier in the stream that the office, it sounds so dumb, but just painting the walls. In my life, my entire life, I've never been afforded the opportunity to make that type of decision. I've either lived in an apartment where it wasn't possible, or somebody else made those types of choices about painting and stuff like that. I've never been left to my own devices to say, hey, I want to try this or do this. And it's kind of nice being able to do that. You know, I'm not expecting to go into the house and change everything around. I have no interest in doing that. But having a space that is unique to me, that I contributed to the decision making process, or I decided to do these certain things, that's my intention. And so far, the plan and what we've done so far, it's turning out really nice, and I really like it. I'm very happy with the direction it's going. So there's progress. I'm excited because once I'm in there, you guys better buckle up, because I'm telling you, I'm hitting this channel so fucking hard with so much shit. I'm going to experiment too, so you guys are probably going to see some weird videos come out. Weird stuff come out as well, but that's all a part of growing. It's all part of the experimentation of the stuff that I've always wanted to do but never did, or the stuff that I wanted to do, that how this channel was intended to be. All right, this guy's going too slow. There are many things I was going to do with this channel, but ultimately I never did, for one reason or another. And I'm hoping to actually follow through on those things too. Because if I fail doing the things I want, I can accept that, right? I can accept failure if I'm doing what I think is right. I can't accept failure when I can't accept the failure when I'm not the one. If I'm not putting forth the effort and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing and it fails, that's on me, and I can't accept that. I can't accept not giving my all. You know, there's an old expression, you know, well, not expression, there's an old cliche you've heard, don't half-ass something. Well, when you try to do too many things at one time, you end up half-assing several things. So in this example, never half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing. So my focus as far as the channel is going to be consistency with content. Content consistency and streams. I'm going to set up an actual schedule, a streaming and upload schedule, to where you can set your watch to it, to make it easier for people to find the streams, and for those that are interested in being there, they can come. And it's not, oh, Eric's streaming, let me go join it. It'll actually be, oh, Eric's streaming today at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cool. I'll see that later tonight, because you can expect it. So that's going to happen. And I'm going to start simple. I'm not going to go in and, like I did before, where I was streaming 4 hours a day, 365 days a year, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, everything. I'm going to break it up, make it reasonable, and then I'll stream in between as well as like bonus stuff. So, you know, I'll schedule like 4 streams a week. I'll schedule it. And then if I stream in between, then that's just bonus extra content, but there'll be 4 that are scheduled. And then I'll have an upload schedule. My goal is to have 1 video every day, 5 videos a week. And in order to do that properly, without killing myself, I have to record several videos in advance, then edit those videos, get them ready, and then I can start uploading them. So the way I used to do it was I'd record a video, I would edit the video, then I would upload the video. And if I was off or having a bad day, I wouldn't finish. I wouldn't get it done. And you gotta be smart about this type of stuff, especially if you want it to be successful. And I want this to be successful. I want to do the right thing. I want to make sure I'm doing what I should be doing. So I'm confident that I can. I'm confident in my ability, and I'm confident in what I can potentially make, and I think we can make something out of it. Do I think the channel is going to be on Markiplier, PewDiePie, some huge millions of... No, I don't. I'm very realistic. Do I think it's possible? Yes. Do I think we could potentially appeal to a large audience? Yes. But statistically, the odds of us breaking through that is very, very slim. So I'm going to focus on growing the channel organically, making content that I want to make, and trying to foster a community of people that want to participate in the channel for the channel's sake. Not because, oh, he's playing a FNAF game today, I'm going to go watch him play that FNAF game because I like FNAF. That's going to happen. You're going to get people that come just for specific things, and that's okay. But ultimately, like right now, when Markiplier posts a video, people are watching the video because it's Markiplier, because it's his channel, not because of the game he's playing. That may be a factor for some of the people that watch it, but overall, his consistent viewers come because it's him. They come because it's his channel. That's what I want to get us to on a smaller scale. You know what I mean? To where people want to watch the video we uploaded because they think it might be funny, because they like the channel. Not because, oh, I like that game, so I'll watch this one game. And that'll take time. And I'm fully aware that we're basically, when I do this, we're going to be basically starting over. The only difference is we'll have 4,000 subscribers, but as far as viewership, I know we're going to be starting over. To either try to get the people back that were once on the channel, to get them coming back, or to start fresh with a whole new group of people. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. I want to thank everybody who took the time to hang out today. I know this was a lot of chatting, a lot of talking in today's stream. So thank you for those that were able to kind of stick through it with me, spend some time and chat it up. I appreciate you guys. It means the world that you were here. I hope to see you again. I may stream again tonight. If not, I will definitely stream again in the morning. But I love you. I appreciate you. Don't be a stranger. If you come across this stream and you make it to this point, thank you. And if you think we earned it at some point, take a second, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, join us on this journey, see where it goes. I think it's going to be a wild ride, and I would love for you to be a part of it. So think on it. Get back to me. But that said, for now, again, I'm Audi 5000. I'm going to get it. You guys stay. Bye. Bye. Bye.